Yo, yo, yo. All right, this is great. Today, I'm going to talk about just the spiritual practice on the path of non duality. So, every path has practices. So, if you're on the path of love and devotion, you have worship, you have rituals, you have incense, you have lighting a candle, you have all this kind of rituals on the love and devotion path. Similarly, if you're on the path of Kriya Yoga, if you're on the path of Karma Yoga, any path, any spiritual path has a practice in it. Why is there a practice? Number one, I want you to ask right questions, and I'm going to ask them on your behalf as well. So, why does every path have a practice? Why? Why do we have to practice? Why can't we just sit on the path? Or why can't we just walk on the path? So, practice. What is practice? Practice is repetition. We have our body and we have our mind. These are the only two things that we have to work with. And if you want to do anything to this body or this mind, you've got to train it. The only way to change or get this body or this mind to do what you want to do or understand what you want it to understand or feel in a certain way, the only thing you can do to the physical body and the subtle body, the mind, only train it. You cannot say things. You can't say, I'm going to the gym and not go to the gym. You can't say, I'm not gonna think negative and then stop there and it's gonna work. No. So the body and the mind need training. And what is training? Training is practice. What is practice? Practice is repetition. Repetition. It's simple as that. Just like a sports person, you've got to practice. What is practice? Repetition. The same one move again and again, until it gets perfect, until you get it right. So, on the spiritual path and on the non dual path, this is a little different from the other paths. Why? Because in this path, on the path of non duality, on the path of Jnana Yoga, on the path of Advaita Vedanta, it involves the use of the intellect. So, it's a path of knowledge. What can you do with knowledge? Knowledge is listening, understanding, and realizing. So I don't need to move. I don't need to do any physical stuff to listen to something, to try and understand it, or and try to realize it. And this might sound very easy. It's very difficult. So on the path of non-duality, we're gonna get into it. On the path of non-duality, the practice is Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhidhyasanam. That's in Sanskrit, in Advaita Vedanta. It means listening to the truth, understanding the truth, and realizing the truth. All right. So you've got to listen to what the truth is in the scriptures, in the masters, in your whatever your guru is saying, whatever the Upanishads are saying, whatever the Bible or the Guru Granth Sahib or Shankaracharya is saying. You've got to listen. And number one, you're listening. You're not trying to understand at this point. All right. So there's a difference between these three steps. Number one, you're going to listen to it. Second one step, you're going to try and understand it and get clarity and get it intellectually. Third step is where you assimilate, meditate, abide until it becomes a living reality for you. All right. So, what happens on the first step, Shravanam? You've got to be able to repeat what has been said. So, if I'm asking you not to understand in the first step, what the Upanishad is saying, what the Guru is saying, what Shankaracharya is saying, or whichever non dual master that you're listening to or learning from, what are they saying? Just be able to repeat that back. This is what he said. It's nothingness. Oh, it's emptiness. It's Satchitananda, which means existence, consciousness, bliss. Oh, it's Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, existence, knowledge, infinite. That's Brahman, right? You should be able to explain or just repeat back, not explain, repeat back what was said. That just shows that you have heard what has been said. That's step one. And a lot of people get stuck on this step itself. The moment the Upanishad is saying it cannot be understood, it cannot be perceived, the truth cannot be seen, it cannot be heard, you can't intellectually know it. When the Upanishads or non-dual masters talk in such language, at that point, in the first instant, you've got to just listen to it. Don't try to understand, because if you try to understand, and the Upanishad is saying that it can't be understood, and you're trying to understand that it can't be understood, you're going to be stuck straight away there. So, number one, just listen. It can't be understood. It can't be perceived. It is not this or that. It's not here or there. It's not then or when. And it's all of it at the same time. That's what you're saying. That's what the non-dual texts are saying. That's what the guru is saying. What is he saying? He's trying to say that it's everything, everywhere, every time, and transcends it all. Right? That's what he's saying. Number one, just listen to it. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So you'll find that all the non-dual texts are talking about the truth, the highest reality. Call it Brahman, call it Atman, call it Nirvana, call it the Tao, um, call it whatever you want. Consciousness, existence, bliss. Call it what you want. What is it? Number one, the it is not an it. All right. So, but now that we are talking in words, we've got to use words. So, what are we saying that is that? So we're going to use the word that. It's not this, it's that. And what does that mean? Can be anything and everything. All right. So what is that? What is the truth? The truth is that which is infinite. What is infinite? Infinite is that which has no limitations. What kind of limitations are there? There are only three kinds of limitations. There's object, space, and time. Is that it? Are you sure? Yes. The entire universe is nothing but objects in time and space. And you can go and counter check this and find out for yourself. Do your own research. Anything I am saying or anybody tells you, you've got to make sure that it is the end conclusion, the last understanding is your own understanding in your own mind. My understanding, anybody else's understanding, what the sages have said and understood is of no use to you if it doesn't make sense to you in your own understanding. So don't believe anything. That's the reason it's the path of knowledge. We have no space, no place for blind faith or blind belief. We have no space for sitting in a cave for 10 years to meditate and twist our bodies in certain postures. We have no space for that. We only want to listen to what is the truth, understand it for ourselves using a rational, logical mind. Don't talk irrational stuff, logical stuff. And then understand it for ourselves. Third step, do what you want with the knowledge. Obviously, the logical step would be to realize the truth. So, number one, you got to understand what the all the non-dual texts are saying, what all the non-dual masters are saying. Nothingness. Oh, you're talking about nothingness. All right. This is the quality of being nothing. Emptiness, the quality or the essence of being empty. Whenever we add the word, the suffix ness to anything, it just means the essence of the word that it is preceding. So if we say, let's say, my I amness, that means I am the quality of being I am. Let's say an apple, appleness. I'm just creating a word now. Appleness means the essence of an apple, not the apple itself, the essence of being an apple. So nothingness means the essence of being empty or being nothing, not nothing itself, the essence of being nothing. All right, great. So, step one, what did the text say? They say it can't be understood. I got that. What else did they say? It can't be perceived. Got that. It can't be seen. Got that. It can't be thought about, got that. It can't be felt, got that. It can't be understood, got that. It can't be known, got that. And it is known, got that as well. It is nothing, got that. And everything, got that. Step one, just listen to what's being said. Very important, very important. Just listen to what's being said without using your mind to try and understand it at the first stage. Shravanam. Listen to the truth. What is it? Next. Now we come down to step two, Mananam. Now, when you have understood what has been said, now try to use your own mind to question, get answers, get clarity, and understand for yourself. Understanding always happens in your own mind. Nobody's understanding can be transferred to your mind. My thoughts, I can speak out my thoughts, but understanding has to be in your mind. Right now, in the second step, what do you have to do? You've got to now make sense of what has been said. Now, that's where a major chunk of the problem comes. It's nothing and everything. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? I've never seen anything that's everything and nothing at the same time. You're saying it's everywhere? I don't know anything except space. At most, we can say space is everywhere. And you're saying it's not limited to just being one thing, it's everything. What is, are you talking about the universe? The universe is everything. Um, and then you're saying it's nothing, but the universe is not nothing. I see the universe, I see things. So what you're saying is contradictory. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. And how are you going to explain that? So now you start asking questions. Who do you ask questions to? The person you're learning non duality from, the Upanishads, the non dual masters out there, wherever you're getting your learning from. If there's a possibility to ask questions, ask the right questions. Because if you don't ask the right questions, you're going to end up trying to figure out what has been said without even knowing what you need to ask. Intelligent questions are very important. You're on the path of knowledge. So you've got to be intelligent. You've got to be able to use your mind faculty. And if you're not the intellectual type, then this is not the path for you. This is not the path for you. If you're more emotional, you need to be on the love and devotional path. Build a relationship with God, a Krishna, a Rama, a Shiva, a Jesus, a Buddha. Build a relationship, and that will work as well. But if you're the intellectual type, then you're on the path of knowledge, on this path. And then you've got to be intelligent enough to ask the right questions and probe until you get the final answers and understand it logically. It makes sense to you. Otherwise, you might avoid a lot of things. So if I say it can't be known and you don't ask me a question, that means you either got it that it can't be known and you've understood it, or you don't even know what to ask. If I tell you it's nothing, you should know what to ask. An intelligent student, you're a seeker of the truth. You've got to know what to ask, right? And I'm going to give you examples and I'm going to tell you what you need to ask on the path of non duality. And these are questions that rarely I've seen people asking, no matter who they are listening to. And these are questions I urge you to ask, whoever you're learning from, or try to understand them for yourself. All right. So, again, the steps: Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhidhyasanam. You should be able to say what has been taught. Should be able to understand what has been taught. And then you should be able to realize what has been taught. Okay. Now, when you're learning, you as a seeker of the truth, the right questions. Here are the questions. Now, somebody tells you it can't be understood. It can't be understood. Great. Here's the question I have. I won't ask about it. If it can't be understood, I won't ask about it. But tell me why it can't be understood. I want to know why it can't be understood. Because clearly you say it can't be understood. You have understood that it can't be understood. Teach me why it can't be understood. Because if I understand why it can't be understood, then I have understood that which cannot be understood. This are clever, intelligent questions, and this will sound ridiculous to somebody who's less listening to it for the first time. It can't be known. How do you know it can't be known? You know something, yeah, that tells you it can't be known. Teach that to me. Because if I know why it can't be known, then I know that which cannot be known. So it's nowhere, all right, and everywhere. Whoa, how is that possible? Because the only thing I see that is everywhere is space. And what I see nowhere, there could be plenty of things. There could be so many things. So, how are you talking about that one, which is everywhere and nowhere? Contradictions, paradoxes. And you're saying it is not this and not that, and yet not apart from both of them. Hmm. All right. Great insights. Here are my questions. If it is not this and not that, and not separate from both of them, and there is something that these two are and not apart from, then clearly there is one which is pretending or acting or appearing to be another. If there are two that we are talking about, and there is only one that we can see or perceive, or one that it is, then clearly one is not real and one has to be real. So you'll find a lot of the non-dual teachings use these words. Illusion. The universe is an illusion. It's a mirage. It's like a mirage. It's like a dream. Um, it's unreal. It's untrue. Everything is nothing. These are the words that are used very common. I'm sure you would have heard a lot of them. Now, here's the intelligent question. And I've seen very few people ask this. And in fact, the people that I work with also don't ask this. And I, I wonder, you know, you've got to be intelligent enough to ask these questions. So, if it is an illusion, the entire universe is an illusion. Number one, don't explain what the universe is to me because you've said it's an illusion. Tell me what is the reality. I want to understand what is the reality because every illusion has an underlying reality. An illusion is that which is superimposed upon something, right? If it's an illusion, there is something real there. If you're on Vedanta, if you've heard the examples that they use, the snake and the rope example, yeah. So if you mistook the rope to be a snake, and then you realized uh, the rope was not a snake, now you sit back and question, where was the rope all that time that I was thinking it's a snake? The rope was exactly where the snake was being perceived. So if the universe is an illusion, this reality that you are talking about has to be exactly where this universe is. Can't be apart from it. Because the illusion needs a reality to super to what are the words? Superficious. It's got to project itself on something, on a reality. Whenever there is an appearance, there has to be something real. If you've got a reflection, there's got to be something that's being reflected. If there is a dream, everything is a dream, there must be a dreamer. There must be a mind. Um, if there is something untrue, that means there is something that's true. We don't understand language, and we normally take things as they're said. Here's the thing: if I said, I am this, I am this, everyone will understand I am this. But what I am also saying at the same time, without saying it, is I am not that. If I say everything is a dream, I am also saying there is a dreamer. If I am saying everything is unreal, I am also saying there is something real. If I am saying everything is nothing, then I am also saying there is an underlying reality on which nothing is being perceived, right? So ask these questions. If somebody says the universe is unreal, what is real? If it's a dream, where is the dreamer? If it's untrue, unreal, what is real? What is true? If it's like a mirage, where is the sand? You see, in the wave and ocean example as well, the wave is an illusion in the ocean, and the ocean is an illusion also in water. So the wave is an illusion, but when you realize it to be water, where was water all this time? The reality called water, whenever you are looking at the wave, you're looking at water. The reality is exactly where the illusion is. The movie or the screen is exactly where the movie is being watched. The untruth, unreal, anything that is untrue and unreal, right? The reality of what is real and true of that is exactly where you're perceiving what is untrue and unreal. So, just what I'm trying to say is be intelligent and ask the right questions. Okay. Now you need to get clarity. If it can't be understood, I want to understand why it can't be understood. Um, if it can't be perceived, I want to understand why it can't be perceived. You're on the path of knowledge. You want to understand. You want to know. Anything that is being said on the path of non-duality, you should want to know. All right. And this is a very important step. And I'll tell you why. We'll go to the next step. I'll tell you why. On the third step is assimilation, meditation, abiding, and making this truth a living reality for you. Once you've got clarity, you've understood intellectually. You cannot understand any other way. Understanding is all intellectual. You've understood intellectually about that which cannot be understood. Now you're going to abide, assimilate, and stay in that clarity until it becomes a living reality for you. Okay. Now, a lot of times you can make the breakthrough just by abidance and abiding in nothingness, in emptiness, in consciousness. You can make a breakthrough and realize it. It's possible. A lot of people are doing it, are happening. If we had a one-on-one, I would make you realize that within minutes. But now here's the thing: if you make the breakthrough um, without intellectual understanding, right? If you do make the breakthrough, good for you. But if you're gonna go ahead and teach people or tell people about this understanding which can't be understood, you will not be able to do it. Good for you because you've realized it, but your mind will still keep thinking why and how. That will not be at rest. Now, a lot of people are teaching non duality. I do it as well. Yeah. But I've seen very few people who come up, few seekers of truth who come up with the right intelligent questions. If somebody tells you now, when here's the reason why uh, a non-dual master will tell you you don't need to understand it, you don't need to know what it is because it can't be known. Why spend time, why waste time, you know? Why are you going to spend all that energy trying to know something which is going to be useless? It's like saying, why do you want to go to school? Why do you want to go to college if at the end you're going to go and find a job or, work for somebody? Why don't you just start straight away? That's the way to make money. So skip school, skip college, and go straight into a job and start making money. You see, the difference would be that you would not have the basic knowledge. So, Nidhidhyasana, meditation, don't skip the first two steps. Just because in the meditation part or in the abidance part, that's where the real magic happens because I actually experience it. Oh my God, what the hell just happened? Where I am one with the entire universe. That's where, on the third step, that's where it happens. Yeah. And you'll be really carried away with that. But intellectual understanding, if you're a true seeker of the truth can only be known intellectually, right? And what are you gonna? Because the truth, what is not? What is higher than the truth? Nothing is higher than the truth. And what is nothing? That we are talking about, that Brahman, which is nothing and everything, right? So you want to understand the truth. Ask the right questions. Get clarity. I would urge you to not skip the first two steps. Be clear about what is being taught. When you go to a physics class, you know they're going to talk about formulas and the universe and the physical part of the universe. When you go into a biology class, you know they're going to talk about living things and cells and life and how systems in the body and the living things work. That's what they're going to talk. They're not going to talk about non-living things. You know that. When you go to a non-dual class, you know you should know what they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about that which is totally paradoxical, that which is totally irrational, illogical, sounds that way until you understand it. And it can be understood that it can't be understood. uh, so for somebody who's not on the non-dual path, this would be probably good entertainment. You have a good laugh. But for somebody who's on the path, who's seeking the truth, I'm actually telling you, pose, get the right questions, get clarity. The assimilation is the last, it's the easiest part. The meditation, the awareness, the consciousness, it's the easiest part. Which is the difficult part? The understanding of that which can't be understood. All right. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. I will see you probably next Friday again. I'll be doing this kind of videos, hopefully every Friday or every other Friday. So stay blessed and don't stop until you have clarity. Yes.